to my channel. Welcome back to another video. First of all, before I go any further, I just want to say if it's your first time here, welcome. And I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And to my new subscribers, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing, and just thank you for watching. So let's get into it. So the question of the day, why did I leave pharmacy? Like, seriously, just think about it. You spent 8 years in school, right? 8 years in school, going through all those science classes, and then you go to pharmacy school, dealing with all that, making decent money, and then all of a sudden you just decide, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Like, who in their right mind would do that? That would be me. Yeah. I left pharmacy full time. Now I still practice every now and then, you know, when I can get hours, but it's not my full time anymore. I pursued software engineering, and I'm currently working as a software engineer. Yeah, bonkers, I know. Yeah, so first question is why? Like, why would I leave something lucrative to pursue something else? Well, I wanted to say this, like, it didn't just happen overnight. Seeds were being planted even when I was not aware that seeds were being planted, okay? So it all started when I was in college at Temple University. Woo, the best college in the world. At least it was back then. I don't know about now, you know, I'm not sure. I think Temple was great because of the people that I went to school with and the people that I met that made it what it was. I can't say so for now, but if you're watching this and you go to Temple, let me know what Temple is like now. It's been years. I'm not gonna age myself on here. It's been a while, so yeah. But so it pretty much started in college. When I started college, in fact, ever since I was a kid, I knew that I wanted to be a pharmacist. I knew that that was my route. Like, you know, it started at the age of 7. I tasted amoxicillin in the fridge. I was sick one day, you know, and I was just so curious as to why this thing that is so pink and tastes like bubble gum and it tasted so sweet, you know, how you can take this and it would just cure your body, right? Or cure you of your infections. Of course, at that age, I didn't know that I had infection. I was just taking it because that's what my mom told me to take. So that curiosity started then. I went throughout the school system knowing in mind that pharmacy is what I wanted to do. Therefore, I needed to be good in maths, science, you know, all the sciences, all the maths, you know, because in Nigeria, I went to school in Nigeria. So in Nigeria, you had all kinds of math. You had regular maths, you had further maths. I don't even know what that is to say. I think it's algebra, trigonometry. I don't even know what it is. But anyway, so I made sure that I excelled in all those subjects because I knew that I needed to be good in these subjects so that I can get into pharmacy school or so that I can be a good pharmacist, right? So then fast forward into college, right? Fast forward into my junior year. In fact, I think even before that, you know, my brother, he was part of this organization called Nsbe. All right, so that's National Society of Black Engineers. If you've never heard about it and you're in STEM, like, you're missing out. It's dope as I don't know what. It was just amazing to see like how much my brother loved this organization and he was so involved, and it just felt like a family. So I was studying one day at the library in the engineering building, and I met this girl. Her name is Mai, and she just came up to me randomly and was like, hey, would you like to join Nsbe? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? First of all, I didn't even know they existed on campus, but it was just amazing like how the thing that you're looking for like eventually finds you, and Nsbe found me. So I gladly joined. I became active immediately, was part of their working in the store. So we had a store where we would sell either snacks to students in the engineering building or minor school supplies, just to help us raise money to help fund for regional conferences, which was like the best times. Like, I lived for those conferences. Like, every year we went somewhere. I think one year was in Virginia, another year was in Las Vegas, my first time in Las Vegas, and it was awesome. And I think what made it even more awesome is just to see that many Black kids or Black students that was in the STEM world doing amazing things, but also meeting professionals who were in that space doing awesome things. And it was really inspiring because growing up, I always thought engineering was a role for men, growing up, especially like in a Nigerian household. It's like you have three things that you can be: a doctor, a lawyer, a pharmacist, or an engineer. Well, four things that you can be. And usually the men kind of like went towards that engineering route. So I didn't really see many women in that field. So I was just amazed that, wow, they actually exist. And I wish I'd been exposed to that early on. So I did consider like, man, maybe I can switch my major to some sort of engineering, be it electrical, chemical, or biomedical, whatever, something. But I was a junior. I had already invested too much in my major and the plans that I already had for myself. Like, I was already studying for the PCATs, getting ready to apply to pharmacy schools. And I was like, you know what, if I can't do it, that's fine. I'm gonna make my kids do it. Pretty much that like whole Niger mentality type thing. Like, the things that you did not do, your kids will do it, Just, I'm gonna slowly shift them towards that STEM route, mainly like technology, engineering. So I started pharmacy school in 2009. I left that phase, and engineering did not cross my path ever again. I was comfortable where I was hustling in school, doing well, passing my courses, and I was like, hey, this is where I want to be. And at the time, pharmacists, there was a shortage of pharmacists, right? So it was one of those things where, you're just confident that you're always going to have a job, and whatever job you get, you're going to get paid well, right? So that was what we were sold. Oh, you're always going to be needed. Oh, this is a secure profession. This is a solid profession, right? So then after graduating from pharmacy school, I started working in retail. Didn't like it much. I was there for maybe like a year and a half, and I was like, look, man, all right, it's enough. I need something else, something that's a little bit more chill, where I can use a lot more clinical skills. So I found a job. I was able to get a job at an insurance company, was there for about 4 years, doing what they call MTM, medication therapy management. This was nice and cushy, worked from home. I got comfortable, making money. You have your paycheck coming every 2 weeks. I was good. At least the first 2 years, like, I was good. I was content, I was comfortable, and I was like, oh, I can be here for a long time. Like, I can see myself staying here for like 10 years and be okay, doing what I gotta do, and then like the third year, like, I started getting like uncomfortable, which was weird for me because I'm someone who, what's the word? I easily get complacent where I find myself. As long as things are good, things are comfortable, I don't really have much of a urge to like leave what's already good. I'm okay. But then my third year came at the job, and I was like, ooh, I'm not feeling this no more. So I was applying to different jobs within pharmacy, seeing if I can get somewhere. Nothing was happening, nothing was coming. So I was like, I don't know how long I can stay here for, but let's keep going. Right now everything is still good. There's nothing that I can pinpoint that's like suffocating me here, but I just hated the mundaneness of the day in and day out. Essentially, I was doing the same thing that I was doing from year one. So there was not much of any sort of growth. Everything was just kind of linear, and things were just becoming stagnant. So I desired more, which is for me is like, I felt like once I finished pharmacy school and was working and getting my, money, I would be okay. I didn't feel like I would want more. But then I had that desire. And then, the thought of engineering came to mind, like, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But then I just brushed it off. And then fast forward to 2017, I was at a hair salon, and it was just three of us. So a lady was in a chair getting her hair done, and she asked a question, and she just pretty much like threw it out there to whoever wanted to answer. And she asked, if you could be one thing in this world, what would it be? So obviously the hairdresser, you know, she was content where she was. This is what she's wanted to do. She had her own business, so she was where she wanted to be. And then she asked me, and I said, the first thing that came to mind was I would be an engineer. So I just thought, okay, we'll just stop there and, you know, continue on with the conversation, or we'll switch to a different topic. And then she was like, so what's stopping you? So I thought of all the excuses in the world, like, oh, money, like why would I leave my career? Like I've invested so much time, so much effort, you know, so much money, because these loans ain't here to play. I was like, you know, it's just too much going back to school. That means I have to go back to school and get a master's, and, you know, have to find the money to pay for that, you know, because I'm still paying for my student loans. So it just didn't make any sense. So she was like, well, that's just an excuse. Like, if you really want something, you'll find a way to get it. You know, there are resources, you know, there are ways that you can, you know, get grants, get scholarships to, you know, pursue this if this is something that you really want to do. So ever since then, like, it was like another seed was being planted. The seed was being planted, but I just left it because I was like, I'm not about to do that. And, you know, if you know me, like, I'm not much of a big risk taker. Like, I'm not one of those people that will just leave everything and just like, okay, do something new, especially when it comes to like my career and like finances. But, you know, we all know that there's no growth in your comfort zone. Like, there's no growth in complacency. You know, you'll never know how much you can achieve or what you can do if you just stay where it's comfortable. So yeah, so then, you know, I think like 2 years later, I like really started thinking about it seriously. Like, man, like I might really need to find a way of how I can get into tech. Like, I don't know, like maybe I can start taking a few classes here and there. I looked up University of Maryland Global Campus to see what programs that they might have that I can consider, like getting a master's in information systems, part-time, and, you know, at least I have my job so I can pay for it. Like, I would pay as I would go, right? So that was my plan. This was in 2019, like early 2019. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in 2020. You know, I'm going to put in my application and just, you know, see how we can do this and see if I can transition into, and just, you know, just trust the process. So that was my plan. So I remember like a few months later, I was in New Jersey, and on my way back to Maryland to visit a friend who just had a baby. In college, her major was public health, and she got a master's and everything. And we're just talking about like her career, and come to find out, she's not working in anything related to public health. She pretty much like changed her career. She was telling me about it, and she was like encouraging me, like, Coach, like, this is what you want to do, like, do it. Like, don't live your life like shoulda, coulda, woulda, wishing that you did something. Just do it, you know, just do it now. Like, this is the time to do it. You'll figure it out. You know, if you have to pay for it, pay for it. You're gonna eventually pay it off. Just do it. So then I left that place like encouraged. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this. But of course, you know, behind your mind, you know, the back of your head, you're like, you know, all those negative thoughts and all those, like, you know, your conscious that tries to, like, you know, feed you logic, you know, wants to just consume you. So as God would have it, that same week that I was with my friend, I think like maybe like 2 days later, I get a call from my job saying that they're laying us off. I was like, wow, man. Of course, my initial reaction was like, what? I was scared. I was like, what? Like, why? What am I gonna do for money? Yada, yada, yada. Like, why would they let us go? It was in November. So like a month before the end of the year. And it's just like, this made no sense at all. But after the shock of everything happened, I realized that God was looking out for me. because he knew that I did not have the courage to get out of my comfort zone. So he literally had to pick me up, take me out of my comfort zone, and like, okay, here, now what is your excuse? You don't have an excuse now. You do not have any excuse. Like, this is your time to do it. Do it. So I was like, all right. And it's interesting because, you know, one of my biggest fears was like losing a job. And that's one of the reasons why I chose pharmacy too. You know, as I got older and started to like, you know, pay attention to careers that would always be in demand. And pharmacy was one of them. You know, I never want a situation where I would be out of a job. And with the way pharmacy is going now, you know, it's not even easy to get another job, you know, because now the supply is beyond the demand. So like, you know, you're in the job pool with all the graduates because Maryland and DC got all these schools, but they ain't that many jobs. So I'm just like, I'm not going back to retail. I'm not going back. I'm not going to hospital. I don't want to do a hospital. Like if it's not, you know, managed care or something that allows me to work from home, I'm not doing it. So I was like, okay, this is the time for me to hustle. Like now I really have to like think and really figure out, okay, how am I going to make this transition in technology? Talk to a few friends, you know, trying to consider like where in technology I might fit in. At the time I wasn't really thinking technical. I wanted something non-technical. So I was either looking at project management or a business analyst, you know, so I was just doing my research and just trying to see if I can find people who were in my situation, who either were in healthcare and transition into, you know, the tech space and how they did it, so that I just kind of create my own roadmap of how I was going to do it, and you know what resources to use, you know, because this is on you. This was on you for me. So now fast forward, you know, while I was like, you know, figuring all this out, one of my colleagues and one of my good friends who I went to pharmacy school with, we worked at the same job, we both got laid up at the same time. She was already making moves. She was like, okay, I'm getting into this tech space too. She's a Nigeria babe now. So you know, Nigeria people, like, they're on to the next one. They don't have time to will die or, you know, feel remorse, feel bad. No, on to the next one. The thing that amazed me about her is that she was on maternity leave when she got laid off, and she had just had twins. So this is her third. I don't even know how to say it. This was her third children. This was her third. I don't know. She had a total of 3 children, but she had, you know, 2 newborns. But she had already, like, you know, found a program that she was gonna do, and you know, started taking the classes and doing the research, and she just moved quickly. And I said to myself, like, now you have no excuse to not make this move. This woman got 3 kids, you know what I'm saying, and she's doing it. You're here trying to, you know, no, just do it. So if anything, she inspired me to like really like follow through. That's how I ended up switching, you know, my career path. And I'm just so thankful that, you know, it all worked out. I'm thankful that it happened. I just want to encourage anyone out there. It's one thing to have a dream, right? Because pharmacy has always been my dream, right? Like I said earlier, I knew at a young age I wanted to be a pharmacist, right? Because of my curiosity, you know, so that was a dream that I accomplished. But one thing I learned during this journey is that you can dream again. You can have another dream. You know, you have to be brave enough to have another dream, especially if the dream that, you know, that you've accomplished, or, you know, the dream that you're in is not fulfilling you anymore. You know, it doesn't challenge you anymore, right? You can always dream again. And this is what this new path is for me, right? An opportunity to dream again. And in this dream, you know, it's opening up doors. It's allowing me to discover new rooms within myself, right? New parts of myself that I didn't know was possible. Like, at least the old me would be surprised at the new me, because I'm someone who's comfortable. You know, I like things to be, especially when it comes to like career and like, you know, my professional life and things like that, my personal life, oh, I'm taking risks. Like, you know, don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to, you know, try something new. There's really nothing to lose. Even if you have children, even if you have a family, like, as long as it makes sense, you know, as long as it makes sense to you and it makes sense to, you know, the situation that you have going on, pursue it. You know, like everything will find a way to work itself out. And, you know, hopefully you have a supportive team. My husband was very supportive. I mean, initially it was a conversation that, you know, we had to have many times just so that, you know, he can kind of see that I really wanted this, right? I know my mom, you know, my family, they were kind of nervous because they were like, did I lose my license? You know, did I lose my license? Like, why am I leaving pharmacy? But I just got to a place where I just wanted more for myself, right? And I just wanted to push myself and see how far I can go. And I think we all need to do that to ourselves every once and again, to just push yourself. Because you'd be surprised at the power that you have in you, you know, to be able to take that leap of faith. And if you got God, like, you have it all, right? And then if you don't have God, and if you don't believe in God, you know, I think now they're calling it the universe, that is within you, or the power that is within you, right? There's something bigger than you, whether you want to believe it or not, that will give you everything that you need to accomplish what you're looking for. You know, there's this quote by Paulo Coelho. Yeah, Paulo Coelho. He's the author of the most amazing book ever written by mankind after the Bible. And I've read this book like 4 times. And every time I read it, you know, it's still significant. It sticks out. Like, it touches me in ways that, yeah. And one of the quotes that till today that I still remember is, when you want something, the universe conspires to help you achieve it. So whatever we want, free, just don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the how. Put your mind to it. Take that first step and you'll be surprised where you end up. You will be surprised where you end up. And I think sometimes you just have to take a chance on yourself. You gotta take a chance on yourself. And I think that's what I did. And if anything, this motivates me to keep going further and actually see how far I can go in this life, because I'm living a long life, a very long life. So there's so much dimension of myself that I'm yet to discover, that I'm yet to explore. And me accomplishing this is the first step, right? So I'm excited to be in this career realm. I'm excited where this leap of faith is going to take me. And like I said, I just want to encourage anybody out there who this has been a thought, do something new with yourself. Even if it's just for you to travel, quit your job and travel the world, find something new, discover something new, do it. If you can afford it, do it. Do it. That is why I left pharmacy to become a software engineer. And I don't regret it. Is it easy? No, it's not. It's not easy. It's so different. It's so different from what I'm used to. But you know what? Because I know I can accomplish anything, this will be no different. So I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. And, you know, if you guys enjoyed my content, please consider liking, subscribing, and, you know, push that notification bell so that you know the next time that I post a new video. And I will be posting to you. My next video is going to be about my journey to becoming a software engineer, like things that I did to get to where I am right now, which is my first job as a software engineer. So I'm excited to share that with you. And I'm hoping to post videos every Sunday. So just be on the lookout. And y'all, like I said, for those who subscribed, thank you. For those who watched to the end, thank you. We're trying to get this watch time up. So even if you know you fall off, just allow it to run to the end. Allow it to play all the way to the end, you know, so we can get that watch time, those watch time hours. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later.